Hi, why are people making such a big deal about the difference between a general warranty deed on one hand and a special warranty deed on another hand? Let's talk about that a little bit. Truth be told, the risk factors actually depend on four things. Yes, the type of deed is an important consideration, but there are three other considerations that are also important. One of those other considerations is the style of the exceptions section in the deed. Another one of those considerations is whether the seller has title insurance and the amount of that title insurance. And then the fourth consideration is there hair, if you will, on the title? Is there concerning things? Are there red flags on the state of the title? Now, talking about any one of those four things is not that big a deal, but gaming out how they interact with each other is extraordinarily complex. The good news for real estate brokers is that nobody wants real estate brokers engaging in that analysis. Real estate brokers don't want to engage in that analysis. Lawyers don't want real estate brokers to engage in that analysis. And your regulator, the Colorado Division of Real Estate, does not expect you to engage in that analysis. But what is useful to have a sense of is the fourth factor, the risk factors, the hair, if you will, the title issues, if you will. And I want to talk somewhat artificially about the top 10 risk factors. And let's do this David Letterman style, going in reverse order from roughly guessing what I think is least likely up to the title issues that are most likely. And the concept is that if one of these red flag situations exist, you want to be especially careful about encouraging your client, whether it's the seller or the buyer, to consult their own legal counsel about the type of deed. Okay, here we go. Coming in at number 10 is if what your client is selling is mining claims or patented mining claims. That's number 10. Number 9, if your client didn't acquire the whole parcel at the same time, or didn't acquire it from the same people. In other words, it's an assemblage. Your client may be selling an assemblage of parcels A, B, and C. Your client might have acquired the title to A and B from Farmer Jones. Your client might have acquired title to parcel C from Rancher Smith. And now they're selling A, B, and C together as one package. Title, red hair, red flag. Number 8, your client acquired title to the property through a treasurer's deed. That is, somebody didn't pay their taxes, the treasurer's lien was sold at a tax sale, nobody redeemed the unpaid taxes, and then the treasurer issued a deed to your client. Red flag. Next one, your client acquired title through a sheriff's sale. Next one, number 6, your client acquired title to the property through a public trustee foreclosure. Next one, number 5, your client is selling the property for substantially more than your client acquired the property for. Now that can happen in a variety of ways. One of the ways it could happen is your client acquired the property your client acquired the title to the property, say, in 1960, and now your client is selling it in 2020. Even if the property only appreciated 3% a year over that time, the cumulative effect might make that property worth 10 times the amount your client acquired title for. When your client is selling for substantially more than your client acquired the property for, then there's a risk that their seller's existing title insurance is not enough to back up the seller, protecting the seller from title claims that may be made against your seller client. Other ways it can happen is builders. Builders acquire a lot. They might acquire the lot for $50,000 and they build a house on it, and they sell the house and the lot together for $450,000. Your builder client does not have a lot of title insurance standing behind title claims that may be made against your builder client. How much is a lot here? I would say if your client is selling the property for just to have a simple rule, more than 2 times the amount of the seller's existing title insurance, then that is a title red flag. That's number 5. Coming in at number 4, your client acquired title to the property through an intrafamilial conveyance. That is, they acquired it from their parents, perhaps. They acquired it from a brother, perhaps. Perhaps they acquired their title or part of their title in a divorce. All those things, title red flag. Number 3, coming in at number 3, which overlaps with number 4, admittedly, but your client acquired title to the property through an inheritance. It was a conveyance from a trust. It was conveyance from a probate estate. That's number 3. Coming in at number 2 is there are title blemishes that are severed mineral interests. There were reservation of minerals. There's a mineral lease against the property. That's the number 2 level of frequency. And, David Letterman style, coming in at number 1 on the list is there are encroachment issues regarding the property. That is, perhaps a neighbor might have landscaping, a neighbor might have fencing that encroaches on the subject property. Another way is that you can see paths, you can see jeep trails, you can see roads that cross the property for which there does not appear to be any recorded easement. All 10 of those things are all title red flags for which it is especially important that you encourage your client to seek legal counsel, whether your client is the seller or the buyer, to manage the risks of those title red flags. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our presentation today. Remember, we live in a complex world. Be careful out there.